2013 camp is officially in the books. Joining us now, head football coach Rob Ambrose. And Coach, when you hear camp is officially over, what kind of emotion does that bring up in your head?
Well, I played football long enough to know exactly what that still feels like for a player, and that there's a great degree of smiling in the locker room, that they can breathe easier, that the semi-grind of it is over, and now the good stuff begins.
Now you start preparation for the first opponent, which is UConn, your former school. What is the difference between a camp practice and a practice when you're getting ready to face an opponent?
Camp practice is about laying a foundation for the rest of the season, both in scheme and what we do, effort, and breaking some of the young guys into the learning process of what Division I college football is about. Once we get to this point, it is geared solely towards an opponent. The way we practice, how we prepare, and what we practice while we're on the field is much more specific, much greater degree of intense focus towards a specific goal, not one just to get better. So things are going to change pretty interestingly starting tomorrow.
Now, there's been a question that's been on a lot of fans' minds, and since the end of last year when you lost Grant Enders as your starting quarterback. So, Rob, who is your starting quarterback for the 2013 season?
I suppose by now I'm not going to get away with the guy who takes the snaps. Nobody's going to let me do that.
No, we need a name now.
Okay, well, we went through the last scrimmage yesterday, graded that pretty intently, and after measuring everything out from the beginning of camp, and really this goes all the way back to January, and we had a good competition. 3 guys fought it out, whittled it way down to 2 with Peter Athens and Connor Frazier, but in the end, Pete wins, and our 5th-year senior will be the starting quarterback this year.
So it was down between Peter Athens, Connor Frazier. You just said you're going with Pete. How close was the competition, and why eventually did you choose Pete?
It was extremely close, which speaks incredibly well for both of them, and especially Connor being younger and not having as much game experience as Peter's had. That he's really brought a ton to the table and has made us a better football team just being here in the locker room. But the things that Peter do well, he does exceptionally well. Peter's one of the most gifted passers, and saying that here at this school with the history of great quarterbacks that have played here, that's quite a compliment. And he truly is a great passer. And the downside of his game before was his inability to protect the football, which hurt us. But he has done a tremendous job, and I want to say, I'm talking well over 100. Maybe even 150 scrimmage live reps, and with a completion percentage that is in the mid to high 60s, and he's turned the ball over twice. So not that Connor's stats are bad, but that is something that in the growing process of Peter we really, really needed to see.
All right, Coach. Well, this time next week we will be up in Storrs, Connecticut, getting ready to take on UConn. We'll definitely talk again before that, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks.
This time we don't wait. An extreme attention to detail. And a relentless belief in each other. Why do we come out here?